Hello, Radhika. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Michael?
Yes, I'm very good. Now, you are on Shuaige, the podcast. So this is, I think, episode 18. Now,
Okay.
I found Radhika on a app called Inch, and I saw that she was so you're a psychologist, counselor, what?
Yes, I'm a counseling psychologist, psychotherapist, author of 5 books, and a life coach.
Oh, wow. So did you study at a university or did you do a course or?
Yes, I used to teach at a university, so I had my client session. Sorry for the delays, first of all,
It's
because
okay.
I know the time management is like it's a huge task for us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like 7 o'clock where you are, isn't it? Is it half?
Pardon?
Is it half six around where you are?
It's six. Yeah, it's 6:45 here. What time is there then?
It's 1:15.
Oh, okay. Sorry for texting so early then.
It's okay. No, so yeah, she's a psychotherapist, all, and I did see your account. And I thought I was wanting to get more people who have a lot more expertise, and just because I myself am really interested in the brain and how just general people work, I think if I didn't go into journalism myself and wanted to take more a science route, psychology would have been something that I'd have gone into. And so, before we get into all the nitty gritty, introduce yourself.
Okay, sure. So I'm Radhika Sharma.
Yeah.
Because all of you, since you not be knowing my pronunciation of the name, it's pronounced as Radhika Sharma. I'm a counseling psychologist, certified psychotherapist, life coach, and author of 5 published books. Right now, I have founded my own organization, which is known as Strezzoveda. So I'm currently the founder of that organization.
Oh wow. So, what's the organization called again?
It's Strezzoveda. Do you know something about Vedas, Indian Vedas?
Indian waiters.
Vedas, Indian Vedas, religious, spiritual context of Indian anything you know about Indian culture and heritage?
Um, what's I don't myself, but I know
Okay, it's okay.
you as a culture, you're really into mindfulness and meditation,
Okay.
and there's a man called Shada Mada Guru.
Shahrukh Khan.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, and he I really like his just outlook on life. I always watch his videos. He makes life a bit black and white because I think a lot of people just delve into color, overthinking a lot of things. And I really like that his outlook on life, and I think he's a true representation of your culture, to be honest.
Thank you for Shahrukh Khan. Because of him, today I'm on your podcast then.
Oh, really?
I mean, you are aware of only thing from India is Shahrukh Khan. So I'm thankful indirectly.
Yeah. I Are you into meditation yourself? And
Yes, I am into the meditation. So I am like I organize retreats for organizations where I make them practice about the mindfulness. I tell them to be in present. I make them experience the feeling of here and now, mindfulness, and all the guided imagery, sensory imagery experiences. So yeah, that is my expertise.
yeah, I myself have got into it was it was around like December 2021. I'd like first tried meditation. I didn't actually like it when I first did it because I was that anxious and I had some thoughts that I wasn't necessarily proud of in that time. It made me really it like brought all my negative thoughts to the surface. I didn't actually like doing it, and then over time, you kind of you stop identifying yourself with those thoughts, and so it over time meditation changed my life, to be fair. So it's definitely something I'm a bit of an advocate for myself.
I absolutely understand. Initially, it is difficult for an individual, for a beginner. It must be tough. But then when you get habitual, it becomes a routine. It becomes a habit of everyday practice. You can't live without that.
Yeah, if I don't do it, I start getting a bit itchy and like I just can't.
Like your day is incomplete. You can't relate with people well.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm not focusing on conversations. And that's I myself have like ADHD. So like, if I'm not doing something or just my mind can be just going crazy. So meditation is definitely good for someone like me. I'll tell you that. Now, I didn't know you'd released books. I didn't know that.
Yes, I have published 5 books so far now, and the sixth one is on currently going on. I'm working on that.
Wow. And are they doing well? Are they? I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, they all have different genres. So, since I'm from Delhi, I'm sure you must not have heard about this state, or
No.
you have.
Oh, well, I know about New
So,
Delhi, obviously.
New Delhi, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm from New Delhi only.
Okay.
So, as we know that there are so many cultures, so many states in India, so I have shifted from one city to another city. So that's where my journey began. I experienced so many cultures from India, and it was like a huge mix of discrimination, the new experiences, new learnings. So all those experience made up my this journey of writing books. I started writing my thoughts, and eventually people liked that. And then that's how I started writing books.
Right. Wow. So, what's your latest book about?
The latest book you are asking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about a fictional character. First of all, there is a therapist and a client come up. So initially, she had a dream about the client, and eventually, it became true when she met with the real client. Now, the therapist, is confused whether the client is from the real world or from a parallel universe. So it's up to the readers how they will conclude.
Well, it's up to the reader how they compute the book with the story. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I am into that fictional part. I'm into Korean dramas, obviously. So I like the K drama thing, the fiction, and the suspense genre a lot. So that inspired me to write this. And I mixed that my therapy part, the therapist part, plus that K drama part. And that's how I came up with this book.
That
The
sounds
name is
amazing.
Ukiyo.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. Now, is there any other books you're working on?
I can share up the links if you want.
Yeah, yeah. And is there any new ideas that you're coming with, or any new books that you're currently working on at the moment?
Okay, currently I'm working, again, it's a fictional one. I have tried my genre on everything, like on motivational part, on 1111, the spiritual number. Now the sixth book again is a fictional one, where there is a girl who sees the dream, and every time she saw a dream, it becomes true in the real world. Now it's up to the readers to decide that the dreams are the ones that becomes true eventually, or is there is any ability that she possesses that she can see the future in her dreams. So what's that chronology?
Yeah. That's lovely. Now, with your company, is it called Strezzoveda? Oveda?
Strezzoveda. That's how the name has invented Covishield for the COVID vaccine. The COVID is a word, COVID, and the shield, no, Covishield vaccine, right?
Ah, okay.
So that's how I invented my name, Strezzoveda. Stress is the disease, the illness part, and Veda in our Indian culture, the Vedas are the religious textbooks. So stress and Veda, this textbooks has all the answers to your stress and every psychological disorders.
So, with the company, is it like a non-profit organization, or what's your aim with Strezzoveda? I can't pronounce it, sorry.
So Veda.
Veda. Yeah.
Yeah. So initially, I was a professor at a university. I saw that students are suffering from mental health illness. And the idea came up into my mind that so many students need our expertise. So I came up with around 70 plus assessment tests. and I'm providing at a very affordable rates to everyone. I have recently typed up with NGO, the students, the children who actually need our help. We don't realize that people around us do require our help, directly or indirectly. And since they are in India, the preference is very less. People don't access to mental health very often. So I have made this mandatory thing. I have tied up with organization. It's just a QR code scanner. All you need to do is to scan a code, and a therapist will align to your session. So you don't have to wait for your appointment. You don't have to wait in long queues. You just can sit at home. It will be confidential, and all you need is to scan a QR code. That's it.
Wow, that's really good. I find it interesting what he said about a lot of people going through mental health problems in university, because it is the exact same over here. There's a study that I read a book called Mindset by Carol S.W. And it was talking about the growth and fixed mindset. And there is a lot of people in university who are like, it's just plagued with like depression, because, and I guess from my perspective, it's because I guess there's a lot of people who are lonely in uni and don't have anyone to talk to at all. And I think university, as long as you're getting your work done, you're brushing your teeth, you're keeping it hygienic and you're eating, they just think you're not depressed because you're getting on with your day. But I guess it's not the point. There's some people who deal with depression differently and they'll get on with the day, but they're still not exactly content with what they're doing.
I've been through that stage where I have realized that students do need our help. There is a lot more things than our syllabus and everything. But then, since they are students, they are expected to study to have fun with college students, and they can't think beyond that. So I was able to saw that perspective from students, the relationship stress, the depression, the bullying part, the harassment from teachers themselves. And obviously, when teachers sit in the staff room, they talk about their answer sheets. You don't know how much impact they are making on a student's mind.
Well, is there a lot of is this in Indian universities then? Is there a lot of harassment and discrimination?
Lot of harassment, but I would say the culture differences. We Indians have many cultures. So yeah, culture difference is one of the things that there are so many things that still is the stereotype or orthodox thinking right now. Like even if you sit with a guy or anything, the people will judge you. So there is a very orthodox thinking here. It depends on the university to university. I'm from a New Delhi, a metropolitan city, but I can still see that there are so many cultural difference and very much orthodox thinking that you don't know that the students are facing right now, the issues, the challenges. It becoming trauma for them because they want to explore more, and since their parents be like, no, you can't explore more, you are still at very young age, you need to study, you need to make your career first. So there are many challenges.
What's like Yeah, it seems like what's like the worst thing that you've heard or seen in a university?
Okay, in our university, okay, recently there were exams going on. So there is a girl who had her relationship. Because of her relationship, she couldn't focus on her studies much. Then she got caught while cheating the exam. So she informed each and every student that I'm going to commit suicide just because that teacher had caught me. Now the whole stress came up on the authority part and not the student part. Now everyone was blaming the teachers and not the student. So that became the huge chaos. If you got caught, she felt like my whole life will be chaotic. I can't focus on my study anymore. You'll inform my parents, and then my parents will definitely punish me harder. And that's become very traumatic for each one of us.
Wow. Yes. So she tried to threat the lecturer for it's not really fair, that is it?
Absolutely.
And I guess I think there's I didn't know there was bullying in universities. I guess you can. I think over in England you don't really see. I guess more in societies you can see bullying, but I think don't know. I've not really seen any sense of bullying in my own university, but I don't know. It must be different.
What do you was like greatest challenge in your university from a mental health perspective?
The greatest challenge.
Yes, what is the biggest challenge that is going on in your university? And you haven't informed anyone about that.
I think I myself, because I had a hard time in university, it's because I guess no one tells you what to do with out of university. Like no one. I don't think there's anything. I don't think during in the English school system they do not teach you emotional intelligence, and I think in the last year or so I've learned a lot about that and learned things because just like your normal fitness, your mental health is just the same. You need to do things to actually make it better, like journal or get off your phone. You use healthy therapy, go for a run, go to the gym, socialize with your friends, and socialize with good people as well, not people that you not necessarily want to be around. And I guess you don't really get. There's nothing that teaches that. So I think people end up trying to therapize or do things that they think are good for them, but like your phone, I guess some people treat the phone like a therapy, isn't it? They just sit scrolling all day, but it's just that instant dopamine. But that instant dopamine ends up you being not really being that happy, does it? And I guess people just end up doing things they don't want to do, and it ends up them suffering from a real decline in mental health, especially when they've left home for the first time, and
absolutely,
and they've not got that guidance.
I absolutely got your point. Nobody teaches the life skills. We all can have a degree at one point of time, but nobody tells us what to do with the degree, how to get a job, how to talk to people, how to make friends, who's the right people, who's kind of a wrong people, what to do with life. At some point of time, you'll have a job, you'll have a degree, you'll have a family. But then what next? Again, the circle will come up. You'll be like standing alone in the place and wondering, now what next in life? What was my aim? Why did I started with this life?
Yeah. I remember, and I guess a lot of people end up doing courses they don't want to do as well. The amount of people I talked to at university were just like, when they give a little joke like, oh, I hate my course. But if you kind of look deep into what they're saying, they do actually not want to be doing the course that they're doing. And that's sometimes you see it's because of parents, like you said. But at the end of the day, if you're doing something that you don't want to do, I don't think people realize that they're actually going to be doing that for the rest of their lives. And you can fail at something. Jim Carrey said this. You can fail at something you don't want to do. So you might as well fail at something you do want to do. So
that absolutely happens. I know so many of the things that came up in the students' mental health, and it lasted forever in their mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the like you said, it's life skills. They didn't get taught how to actually in a healthy method to deal with that trauma, and they ended up never recovering from it.
Exactly, and nobody talk about that.
No. Now, I know one of the topics you wanted to speak about were the placebo effect. I knew the other types of the topics you were talking about, but I'm actually unfamiliar with the placebo effect. So,
Yes. So yeah, there is a famous classical study that is pseudo pregnancy.
Zero.
That pseudo pregnancy. That means false pregnancy. Okay, so in that, it was a classical example that how our minds are powerful. There was a female who actually believed that she's pregnant when in the first case she wasn't. But then her power of mind was so powerful that she even started her lactating, and she even started her pseudo belly, and all her symptoms were similar to like a pregnant woman. So that I wanted to talk about, that our mind has so much powerful effect that we don't know ourselves at first place. The affirmations that you make yourself. If I'm starting my day will win, my day will go bad today. Just because today, so let's say lift was not on time, or the metro was not on time. Let's say. So when we make such affirmations at a very starting stage of our day went actually bad. So it all depends on the game of your mind. It's all in your mind. If you decide your day will go bad, it will be worst. And if you think my day will be best today, I am confident enough, your day will be the best and nobody can beat you. So sometimes it's all in your mind. It's not actually the case. Like how I explained through the pseudo pregnancy. She was not actually pregnant. If you Google it, it's a classical experimental study in the field of psychology, that how the symptoms actually evolved in her body when there was no such intimacy, no such pregnancy. How come all the body responded in such a way that made her feel like she is pregnant?
Is this an actual study?
Yes, it is actually a study in
And
psychology.
she got the symptoms of a pregnancy without being pregnant.
Yes, the first experiment that done on placebo was, there were two group of people, and they were told that tomorrow will be your convicted day. Tomorrow will be, there is a experimental going on. I don't remember the exact details of that experiment study, but they were told that the snake will bite you. There is a researcher who wants to test something. So everyone was prepared. Okay, there will be a classical researcher, and there will be snakes and everything. Next morning, they were blindfolded and they were only pinched a needle. And since they were blindfolded, they thought it must be snake. After 3 hours, you'll be shocked that actual poison was found out in their bodies. How is it possible? It was just a needle, but the belief power was so immense and so powerful that after few hours, the poison was found out.
Well, are these studies online? Are these like?
Yes, these are the real studies. You can find it on Google, Placebo in psychology. You'll find many experiments and you'll be amazed how powerful our minds are.
Wow.
We have underestimated our mind, I know, but our mind has so much potential, but we don't make a full use of it.
That is that is crazy. That is, I guess. And going back to what you were saying, how people, you are right. Some people just wake up just like I said. I personally, when I dream, I don't necessarily have nice dreams. I'm a very anxious sleeper, so I'll have a good night's rest and I'll sleep. But my dreams are not scary, but I'm very anxious and I'm very negative in my dreams. And there's always something in my sleep. I am very so my dreams are quite negative. It's always something bad going on in my dreams. I don't really have nice dreams. Very, very, very rare that I have a dream that I like. And so when I wake up in the morning, I'm definitely like the most anxious. I'm quite anxious in the morning because I'm just worrying about what I need to do for the day. Like, I need to go to the gym. I need to get like interviews done. I need to edit some videos. I need to do this, blah, blah. And I'm just anxious about, and then I'll think about the future. But then, like you said, I watched some videos, and like what you're saying, self-affirmations, when you're waking up just so negative about your day, like I said, your day will go terrible. And now I wake up just like, oh, today's going to be a really good day. You know, I'm feeling good, I'm looking good, blah, blah, blah. And because it does set you up good for the day. I'm not saying I'm not anxious in the morning, but if I try push away that anxiety, it just gets a bit stronger. So I just let myself kind of be anxious, and then because I just can't stop it. My dreams are that bad. I just wake up terrible sometimes, and then but like I said, I just tell myself it's gonna be a good day. And like I said, the power of your mind. Your world is your thoughts, isn't it? I think people think the world is the world, and if you're thinking terrible, then that is your world. It's
Your dreams are because of your thinking, but sometimes your dreams are because of your unconscious mind. If I ask you, when you were at 5 years old, how did you celebrate your birthday? You'll probably not remember, or you do.
what when I was 5.
Yes.
What? How do I? What was the question again? Sorry.
So my question was, how did you celebrate your fifth birthday? You
Oh,
were at 5. How did you celebrate?
can't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. 3 months ago, what did you eat for your dinner? Exactly 3 months ago.
But
Okay. So there are certain things in our mind. We feel like it's erased. Our memory never erased. First of all, it's in our unconscious part or either in subconscious part. Like an iceberg, we think like if the iceberg is on the top of the water, the only visible part is we can see. But when we see the iceberg, it's immense in the water. That's how our mind functions. There are so many things we feel like it's erased, but it's not erased. It's somewhere back of our mind, and that's how we interpret our dreams. So next time when you're seeing a dream, just try to introspect what is going on with me, what is trying to telling me. Is there anything that is concerning me? Is there any repetitive thing? So a psychologist can help you better by seeing the pattern of your dreams.
right, wow.
It could be a part of your because of your unconscious mind.
Right. Yeah. To be honest, this is going to sound really weird, but I always have negative dreams. But anytime I sleep on someone's couch, so if I've ever stayed at someone's house and I sleep on their, the sofa couch, whenever I sleep on a couch, I have a nice dream. So
Maybe because you feel kind of sense of security with that couch.
maybe.
It could be related with your memories, any past memories.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have no clue. No, but I really liked your perspective on the placebo effect. That's really interesting. Oh, I'm just gonna say the meeting will end in 10 minutes, but I'll just call you back.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. Now I know you also what topic do you want to talk about out of those the other three?
We can talk about anything that trending thing that is going on with most of my cases that I'm seeing right now is relationship. Now, every second client has any problem for any relationship. What is love? What is attraction? What is the psychology behind that? So, if I talk about that, first of all, there are two kind of people that I would like to add. One, should I join again, or is it okay if I talk on this video itself only? Because the timer has came up.
Yeah, well, we've got 8 minutes, so we'll just wet. But yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So, okay, if I ask you, don't take it personally. What is the first thing when you see a girl, or what do you think, or any partner that you think that is most attractive in the opposite partner? What is that thing?
Is it like, is it physical?
Okay, physical.
Does it does it have to be physical or emotional, or what are we talking about, their personality or the physical attribute?
Okay, tell me any 3 things that you first notice in any partner in your partner, or you want to see in your partner.
Oh, Oh, that okay. Kindness.
Okay.
Um, Independence. Um,
Okay.
I have quite. I like. It sounds weird, but like, I guess I have I think a strong mother is good. Like, who teaches, because I think teaches the children to be, strong. And kindness, independence. Um, kindness, independence. I guess just generally wholesome. Just yeah, nice.
That's it. Okay. So I personally did this experiment in my classroom. I asked all the boys and girls to
Mm.
write those things that you want to see in your partner. The list, obviously, the girls had longer list, obviously, for the reasons. Okay, now what's the psychology behind that? Any idea what could be the psychology behind that?
Don't know. I think like social media definitely has a part on that. I think they see a lot of these, gorgeous looking figures in their life, and they're like, oh, I like that. And then they'll see another one, they're like, oh, I like that as well. So I want every single good bit about this person, these different figures into one person. That'll be the person for me. Yes. And I think that's a part of it.
Okay, so if I talk from the point of evolution psychology, what does it states like when the cavemen, like during the caveman period, so women used to bear the kids, obviously, even now also, but that's the approach. Men wants to find a woman who can better take care of their families or their children, or his proper, or who can provide the emotional support or a good body that can support her child. So that is the reason why most of the guys fall for the looks of a woman. Now, when coming on to the women part, they want to see whether he can protect me or not. So if I see from an evolution point of view, women were also always intrigued that whether the men could protect their family, whether men can protect them and their children well or not. So evolution psychology states that we are still like that, those human beings. It's just we are getting involved from time to time period. So for an example, I'll take an example of a phone. Okay. So women carry their textbooks like this, and men carry their textbooks like this. If you notice from the point of evolution psychology, that's how women carry babies. So it's the same thing that is going on. And men used to carry the weapons, cavemen, which we can say. They used to carry weapons like this. So that's why they carry textbooks, bags like this, and not like this. So this is also an approach of an evolution psychology if you study about that. They believe that nothing has been changed. We were monkeys, then we became cavemen, and now we are humans. So the things have not completely disappeared, but it's just we are evolving day by day.
Wow. Yeah. Um, yeah. And I guess like when you're saying that who can protect the family, I guess it's like in a different sort of way. I guess now it's like there's more of an intelligence dominance now, and money's definitely seen as something that has, like a
Yes,
dominance over other people. And I guess still the body shape and everything that still has.
exactly.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, I guess people forget how deeply connected we are to our caveman past.
Exactly. That's all evolution psychologists believe.
Wow, that is amazing. And do, is it a study that most what what sort of things were the girls writing in the studies? Like, obviously, if they can protect me, but what were they sort of saying?
Okay, in that list that they want in their partner. So they wanted good bodies, sense of humor, And body we can see because they want somebody who can protect their family, muscular body or a tall height, because a tall height is a sign of showing that you can protect your partner better. So they talked about good looks, then sense of humor, caring part, attention part, responsibility part. So there was a huge list. There was 20 plus items, and my boys were innocent in the classroom. They only write only 5 to 7 things. That's it.
Yeah. And you see it all the time, and it's like people on TikTok and stuff, they're always comparing, or whenever people do questionnaires on in schools or whatever, it's always like, who's the best looking, or what do you see in a girl, and that is very popular. Even though people have seen that these sort of topics already, like what do you see in boys, what do you see in girls and stuff, they will still watch that again, and those sort of clips will still hold a lot of attention because people will just watch that stuff all over and over again, just comparing what people are attracted to. And you're right, yeah, it is a very popular topic.
I'm sure next time when you watch a TikTok video on the theme, you can think about the evolution psychology.
Yeah, that's definitely something that will always like stay in my mind. I will like, what the hell am I watching? Like, talk about types of love.
Okay. So when we talk about love, we think of butterflies in the stomach. It's not just the same case. Psychology has definition of everything. It's
Yeah.
not like it's a butterfly in the stomach and that's called we love. So there are about 7 types of love. Were you aware about that?
Are you talking about like touch and just present and gift giving? Is that what sort of stuff?
Not like that, not that.
Okay.
There are kind of 7 types of love, which is made on the 3 factors. The intimacy part, that how connected you are, the passion part, the physical intimacy part, and the third is commitment part, that how dedicated you are for this relationship. On these 3 factors, you can actually define your relationship. So it is given by Sternberg. He have talked about that, Robert Sternberg. So let's take an example of empty love, one kind of love. So in empty love, there is no intimacy, no passion, only the commitment part. Let's say the example could be arranged marriage. There is no intimacy, no passion, but only the commitment part. So that will be the empty love. So that's how there are 7 types of love where you can define yourself, that where currently you are belonging to and on which step you want to move further. Let's say the liking part, the initial infatuation part. So on that part, there is no commitment. You can't tell that person, okay, I'll be with you in the next 10 years of your life. Or there is no such passion because you don't know well the person. So there is only the intimacy part, because there is just only that you feel like, okay, I should talk more to that person or I should connect more. That will call your the infatuation part. So that's how there are total around 7 types of love that nobody talks about, obviously. And people only think that love is a simple thing and simple phenomena. We feel good and it's love. No, it's not like that. In psychology, there is a huge philosophy, huge theories about the love.
Wow. So, and I guess not even in, arranged marriage, there's a lot of just marriages. I know in like America and England and stuff that there's a lot of people who just are just together, and because they've got kids and the marriage and the married and stuff, and they're just, like you said, they don't really have any passion. They don't enjoy spending time with each other. They're just kind of together.
Exactly. That's why they are just together, just because they are committed. Okay, I'll be there with you for the next 20 years, but there is no love. There is no feeling of connectedness. There is no passion to know more what's your liking and disliking, or I feel like connected to you. I feel like sharing with you. It's just commitment. Okay, I'll be there for you, let's say for children or for financial support, or let's be anything. But it's just only the commitment part.
And I guess, is there any like any, like staggering figures that you know? Like, what is that a good? Is there a high percentage of people in just empty love?
Yes, if I talk about my own culture, arranged marriage, definitely there are more cases. Obviously, there are now getting more cases of live-in and love marriage. But if I talk about my culture in myself, then I would say that empty love is a like you'll get the most percentage of empty love because people are together just because for the sake of marriage thing because divorce is such a taboo for in a country like us, and also the arranged marriage part, people are just together because we want something in a society that we are getting married, that's it, and for the sake of family.
Yeah, and I guess in like American England, there could be a lot of passion, but there's no like commitment, is there? Over
So
here.
that would be romantic love. If you're talking about passion plus intimacy, that is romantic love. And if there is only passion, that is infatuation. There are total 7 types, and it is made of these combination three: intimacy, passion, and commitment. So if there is intimacy and commitment, but no passion, let's say you like a person, but there is no such, let's say, any physical proximity between you and that person, and only commitment part is there. You just met once, and you have told that person, okay, I'll be there for you for the next 20 years. That will be companionate love.
What
I think you are confused.
if the intimacy is there and the commitment, that's companionship love.
Intimacy and commitment, companionate. Yes, absolutely.
Would you say that's healthy love?
As in,
Would you say that's healthy?
see, people are in this kind of they are following these types, and I'm sure that every person is different, and every for each other and every person the combination is different. So it depends which combination suits well to which personality or to which kind of person, what are their preferences.
Yeah. I guess I think over in England there's a lot of just like sleeping around and people end up not getting to getting together. And I guess I don't really know. I don't know if it's healthy for people to do it. But I don't know if it's healthy not for oh fuck. Why is it unstable? There we go. I guess over in here, is there any figures on like on because I guess I don't know if it's very common in your culture, but in England there's a lot of people who just kind of sleep around, and I guess it's healthy to a point, but then I guess there's a vice to anything, isn't there? And is there any figures? Is it healthy? Is it not?
It's not like healthy or unhealthy. See, in psychology, we never talk about what is wrong or right, what is healthy, unhealthy. We talk about whatever the person, whatever works for the best. Like for like you have mentioned in your culture, it could be that infatuation works best for you. There is a only passion thing, no intimacy and no commitment. You don't waste your time in knowing person well. First of all, you'll have 15-20 meetings, you'll get a person know best, then you'll move on the passion part and then commitment part. You must not follow that chronology.
Yeah.
Must be. So in that case, I won't say that that is unhealthy for you. Whatever works best for you, I like how I mentioned. So it's based on your preference. Like for an example, if I take an example, I have certain clients. Let's say, obviously, I'm a practitioner, so I do have various kind of clients coming from various cultures. Now, for them, the definition of cheating is different. For one case, the cheating could even be even if you are talking to a guy, or if if her male is talking to a female friend, even that would consider cheating. Then again, there will be a case where both the partners are okay that you can talk, you can go on dates with the other person. It's just you need to inform me. That's it. You can do anything that you want, just inform me. So you can't define, you can't make a definition of a cheating, of a unhealthy love or a healthy love. It all depends what works best for you.
Yeah, I guess some people are so confused. I think when it comes to um I think when it comes to connecting people's what they should be doing with their sexual life, I don't think people know what
They don't.
and maybe there isn't an answer to it. And I guess, and with the fact, like you're saying, there's different types of cheating. I guess for me, I guess some people are not are very territorial. Uh, I'm not really like I'm more. You can do whatever you want. But I guess if I caught you cheating or whatever, then see you later. I don't care. Like it obviously hurt, but I can't stop you from doing what you actually want to do. And if you actually want to do that, then I guess I wouldn't want to be with that person.
Yes, absolutely. There are different dynamics in each relationship, I feel like how I practice, I can't say to like, so when I do a couple therapy, so different couples have their own dynamic, and I have to be okay with them. It's okay, it's your choice. I can just tell them, I can just guide you. I can't take decisions on your behalf, obviously.
They kind of have to do what they think is best, sort of thing.
Exactly. Now the frustration has so much built up in people's life, they themselves are not aware what they are doing in their lives right now.
And I think, and I know certain people in my life, like some of the root of their problems goes so far back to their, they could be in the mid 40s, and it goes back to the root of their early 20s, and they don't want to go back and fix that because they feel like it's too late. And I guess I've kind of realized that myself at quite a young age. So while I can go back and fix like roots at such a young age, I'm doing it now, so I don't get to like 40 and like then only start fixing things, because it just leads to mental health struggles again.
Yes, you made a very good point that people don't think to fix things. Instead, they'll ignore or they'll escape from the problem. There are very few people who have the enough guts to fix the problem. They don't want to fix. They can't face their insecurities. They can't face their challenges. They just want a escape or a solution, or let's say they want to ignore. Let's say I'm going to gym. Let's say, why can't you fix the problem? Why can't you introspect it? Gym is not a solution. It might give you immediate relief. Get the difference between the immediate relief and fixing of the problem. These two things are on two different extremes.
When you talk about a problem and talk about a gym, what what sort of problems do people use gym to escape from?
Best example, breakup. They just bash their gymming equipment so hard. They talk about that I have lifted this 150 kg of weight and everything. I simply ask them, what is the problem? Why can't you fix that problem? If last night you broke up with your partner, why are you hitting gym so hard? Why are you wasting your 3 hours in the gym? And why can't you spend 15 minutes with that person? Why can't you be in the conversation part and fix everything?
Yeah, I guess me myself, I definitely use gym and like just melt. I'm very a physical person, because if I don't, that was one when I got into quite a bad mental state. It's because I wasn't exercising. So definitely something is like just general fitness is something that I wouldn't not do. But I do get what you mean, where some people do act like gym is the solution to everything, instead of, like you said, facing insecurities themselves. And I don't think people realize it's quite an egotistical thing to say you don't to not. It's quite an egotistical thing not to face your own insecurities. I've realized I have my own. Um, I think I've had times where I've been insecure about money, um, insecure about how I look myself. I'm not always best at team working. Those are problems and I think now I've actually, like you said, faced up to things like that. It's done me a world of good, and I think I've grown up a lot more.
Absolutely. See, even the mental health goes like physical health. You see like symptoms of cold and cough, you take a paracetamol. But when you actually get diagnosed, you get checked, then you get a proper view of your problem. What could be the problem? Like, for example, 2020, all we know about the COVID. So the symptoms were cough and cold, normal. We take a paracetamol and get rid of it. Similarly, it's of lack of mental health. We feel like, okay, something is distracting us or something is making us unhappy. Let's go gym and feel better. That's it. So the dopamine will release in your mind. But there is a bigger problem that we can't see right now. It could be anything, that major issue that needs a fixation, that needs to be resolved. But instead, we waste our whole lives of avoiding the problem. And when the problem actually becomes so serious, then we think like it's too late.
Wow.
Similarly happens.
Is that the case for a lot of your clients?
Yes, I do have. You won't believe, there was a minor issue. The person came because he had confidence issues. He said that I have low self-esteem and I don't have much confidence in my life. Okay, so that was a very lengthy case. I digged up about more, okay, how did it started and everything. You won't believe, the person told me that it was just, I was in the third standard and my teacher told me you can't dance better and you should just sit at home. That all thing turned into a trauma, and that guy was around 43-year-old. And that became like a huge monster, let's say self-esteem and a whole confidence level. It started with the dance performance. And the huge trauma built up in his own mind that he can't perform. He's afraid of audience. He don't have that much confidence or self-esteem. That's how the problem began.
Wow. I've read a book on that actually. What I was saying, Mindset by Carol, and she was saying, like, the early stages, especially like teachers and stuff, are so important because the words that they're saying to you really, because when a child hears something or a teenager, like, they hear that word 10 times stronger than what we'd. Because the only person that puts value to someone else's words is yourself. Like, if someone says you're rubbish at this, if you actually hold value to that word, then it causes a lot of damage to you, doesn't it? But I guess if you actually drop the value of what they're saying, it's just nothing. And I think as a kid, I used to feel really really dumb in school. I just thought I was dumb, and I think that definitely started to play a part in actually how I was in school. And I think that was things that I'd heard off people in school, and I always felt like that. But I remember I kind of escaped like certain people, and my confidence started to grow. And in the last few years, I've never felt so mentally capable to do a podcast or do things that actually use the mind. And I never used to do like brainworthy tasks, and now I feel confident doing things like that because I know I can actually do that, and I know I'm not dumb. Without being egotistical, I think I'm quite a smart person, but it's crazy what people's words can do to you at such a young age.
Definitely.
So that's crazy that you brought it up, and like, it's amazing speaking to you because you obviously have a lot of knowledge and background of psychology, and it's something that I'm really interested in. So yeah, we'll come up to the last topic. Why do women fall for bad boys?
See, again, this is interrelated as we have already discussed about the evolution psychology. Am I audible?
Oh yeah, you have actually.
So that's already I have mentioned about evolution psychology. So there's a huge blog that I have written by myself that women actually fall for bad boys because bad boys have the exact actual potential to represent their image, like they can protect their families well. Like how I've mentioned in the evolution psychology, that women wants a man that can protect their family and their babies, like a caveman approach. Right. And bad men have exactly completely that characteristics. If you see them, They exactly show that like nobody can danger us or nobody can beat us. They exactly have that attitude. The
Yeah.
bad men we can talk about. They think like, okay, we are the superiors, or nothing can damage us. Our self-esteem are very much higher, and women wants that. Women want them to be with the kind of a man who has a good self-esteem, so that because of that man, the whole family will have a good self-esteem, the kind of a value in the family system. We all are social animals, and we all want the value in a society. We all want to be appreciated in the society, or to have some value in terms of hierarchy or anything. They all need to be valued. So the bad men exactly have those characteristics that a woman like feels like very attracted to when they think. Let's take an example. So generally, it's a tendency that bad men are rude. They don't talk in front. They can't speak in front, confronted easily. Let's say.
The the the,
So
the, the very confront it, like the argumentative, like they'll confront people. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, they can't easily confront. They
Yeah.
won't talk about their emotions in depth as compared to good men.
Mm-hmm.
So what women like about them is that, first of all, they are not like a babies or like a emotional babies like kind of thing. Women think, okay, that man has a capacity, enough potential to protect me at least. He's not that emotional, or he's not that sensitive. He is much stronger. So I can be assured, I can be totally dependent on him.
Right.
If you think that from that perspective, that evolution perspective, so women are more confident with such kind of men, and that's the reason they get easily attracted to such men.
And I think if you actually look into those people who have those sort of egos, like, oh, I'm a bad boy, they end up being the people with a lot of emotional trauma that they've
Exactly.
not dealt with. And when these girls actually get to meet them, they end up pouring their heart out. Yeah. And that's why kind of the way they are, because they're either insecure about something or, you know,
But they hide their insecurity by being so much powerful that nobody can question them.
wow. Yeah. And in today's world, we know that there's always a bigger fish. And so it's just, well, like I said, psychology's not about judging, but I guess from my perspective, it's just like a silly way to act. But I've had my times when I was a kid, where it just when you're trying to grow into a person that you want to be, and I think in the area I grew up on, there was a lot of people like that, and I never end up being that person, but I could have easily used those sort of people as role models and been that sort of person. And with Bad Boys, is it what you say, Bad Boys? What sort of what sort of things end up that what sort of environmental factors and end up like resulting them being in that sort of way, if you know what I mean?
Like what makes women more attractive towards them?
No, because obviously being like a bad boy, it's a personality, isn't it? It's a front, and there's also a reason that the reason they kind of act like that. Do you know is there any do you know the reasoning to why they end up being that way? Is it the dads? Is it is it the area that they're growing up in? Is that the why? Do you know why they end up being like that?
Obviously, conditioning, I would say the way you have conditioned the child, it must be the reason. For a person, if you tell them, no, that's the ideal person or that's the role model, obviously that child would tends to become, they want to become like that person, because for him you have set an example that this is an example for a society. You have to be like that person by any cost. That person is being valued in the everywhere, so it's kind of like a reinforcement thing. If a person does this, the whole society will praise him. So in the back of your mind, it actually the child records it as a reinforcement. okay, if I do something bad, people will tell me, oh, that's such a great job you have done. If you have beaten someone and you say a child, well done, it means it's a good behavior. The child will learn that behavior and record that memory as a reinforcement. So he'll think that every time I engage in such behaviors, people will also appreciate me, because that's how people will feel good. Today, everyone is not in good mood. If I engage in such behavior, people will feel good about me, or they'll appreciate me, or I'll be more valued in the society.
Wow. Yeah, and I guess as a child, your home environment is like the what you think the world environment is like. So then when they end up leaving their home, they act that way, thinking the world will respond to them in the way that parents responded to them.
Exactly, because that's how people think that this is the good. So there are schemas, mental schemas in our mind. So the person will record that this schema, it means it is a good memory. Anything that I does like such similar behavior, it would be recorded as good behavior.
Yeah.
So like that, how child processes his memory.
Wow. That's really interesting. Because there's a lot of people like that in my school who I went to school with who just loved pretending to be someone that they're not, and it's just insecurity, isn't it? It's just
That's all are their insecurities. If suppose somebody has bullied me, it has clearly shown, the science has actually proved that the people who are engaged in bullying are actually the ones who have been bullied before.
yeah. Wow. And I guess with bullying as well, like it's not. I'm not saying it's good, but I guess I myself got a little bit of stick in school in certain years, and I'm not saying it's good, but it didn't necessarily. It was a mix. It did me good and bad. I think it made me have a bit of thick skin, but then it also made me act in certain ways. But then for some people, it can cause like inevitable, trauma, and it depends. I guess it depends on the level of bullying.
Exactly.
I guess some of it made me a little bit wittier in some situations. I knew how to defend myself on a comical value with a comedic value. So that was my defense.
See, we can't compare the traumas, like you have mentioned about that. It depends on the degree of the trauma or degree of the bully. We can't compare. So for a person, there could be a case that the drowning will happen at the, let's say, 2 meter, and for a person, the drowning can be at 6 feet. So drowning is drowning, and it's the ultimate death. You can't compare whose trauma is much bigger. For a person, trauma is a trauma. We can't compare that.
Yeah, and a lot of people compare, and I think you see a lot of people who have these big figures online, and they're trying to compare their lives to them and take positive. They're always asking for guidance off these figures, like Andrew Tate and all these. They're trying to ask for like advice on what to do, but like at the end of the day, sometimes your experience, even though it may seem similar in deep psychological ways, everyone's experience is so much different because it depends on what you go home to and what sort of people are at school. So some of these, figures online are not always the best people to look at. I don't know. Yeah. If you know what I'm trying. Is there anything else that you're itching to talk about?
Well, I think I have talked about from the point of evolution that how stigmatized is mental health, and the problem we seem that's so trivial could be because of your unconscious mind, or anything that is still unresolved in our mind. I guess I have completely covered everything. Rest, anyone is interested, they can have a session, one-on-one session. I would definitely appreciate that
Yeah. Well,
and talk more about it.
yeah. Well, when I post this, I'm sure I'll get a few questions, and if I have any more, psychological or people wanting more questions, I'm sure I'll be able to get you back on.
Sure.
With phone answering questions. But that was really great. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much. This was Shuaige podcast. We have Mrs. Sharma here, who was delightful for us, and she gave us a lot of insight on mental health, stigmas, people in school, the work cavemen times and how it relates to the modern times, which is amazing. I'm really grateful for that, and I'm sure people will really enjoy the educational content for anyone who's interested in the brain. And yeah, thank you. This was Shuaige podcast, I think episode 18. Everyone follow, subscribe, like, share it to your mates. I know you'll enjoy it. And I'll put her Inch account. You'll have to send me a LinkedIn if you have it as well. And what, mention your company again.
Strezzoveda.
Just over there. Yeah. So everyone share that about and everything. And yeah. Bye.
Sure.